Good morning, South Africans. Good morning, fellow patriots. Good morning, Your Majesty. My name is Bonang Sepolwane. I'm a national organizer of Progressive Forces of South Africa. I am here to brief the media in regards with the questions on why, as Progressive Forces, we have decided to stand up and dig deep into the Edgar Lungu's passing and the rumor of him being buried in South Africa. As Progressive Forces of South Africa, we have decided that we will take the responsibility and dig in the issue of why Edgar Lungu the family want to bury him in the country. We had a space, I believe, on the 18th of June, after the family announced that they are not going to take his remains to Zambia. On that space, we had visitors from Zambia and other SADC residents who came on X, and they claimed that the reason for that was because Edgar Lungu believed that his body remains will be used by the opponents in Zambia and then for Muti and African magic purposes. But as a movement, we saw that as not a reasonable reason of why a former president wouldn't want to be buried at home. On the 25th of June, Edgar Lungu was supposed to leave the country, South Africa. Our government, South Africa, deployed SANDF and the media houses to go and make a send-off to Zambia with regards with Edgar Lungu. With that being said, around 3 p.m. we saw on Newsroom Africa the announcement being made that the family have decided to bury Edgar Lungu within the Republic of South Africa as per his request. It was amazing to us as movement and asking ourselves questions on why will a former president who have people that he served wouldn't want his own people to mourn him. With that being said, we went into the social media, we went into articles of Zambian media and tried to find out what might be the reason in that regard. Number one, what we have found out, we found out that there are cases that the current regime have opened against the immediate family of Mr. Edgar Lungu. Mr. Lungu himself, he got immunity because of the status that he holds, which is former president. But the current immediate family have to go and answer those cases in Zambia. One of those cases is in regards with the first lady, the first former lady, Mrs. Esther Lungu. He's in possession, one of the cases as follows. There's a possession of property reasonable suspected to be proceeds of crime. The property includes a complex 15 luxury double-story which worth 27 million kwacha. Was forfeited by the state by the Economic Financial Crimes Court in 2024. The second one also against Mrs. Esther Nyawa Lungu. Is again a possession of property reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime, which also includes 15 luxury properties, which worth 15 million, also forfeited by the Economic Financial Court. The third one is in regards with Honorable Tarsila Lungu, who is a daughter of His Excellency Edgar Lungu. She is facing charges of possession of farm property estimated to be 600 hectares in size, situated at the Forest Reserve in Sinda District, Eastern Provinces, valued at 9 million kwacha. The farm was seized by the state following a judgment passed by the Economic Financial Crimes Court. Number 4, the case is the people versus Chieso Lungu, which also is a daughter. Possessing property reasonable suspected of being proceeds of crime, Ms. Lungu, who is also the daughter of late former Republican president, was charged with corruption charges involving her ownership of Lusaka 3-story luxury lodge, valued at approximately 22 million, also suspected to be the proceeds of crime. The other one is the people against Mr. Dalito Lungu, son of the late former President of the Republic. He is in possession of suspected of being proceeds of money laundering. Mr. Lungu, who is a son of the late former president, was charged with money laundering and being in a possession of 48 motor vehicles, reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime valued at approximately 25 million kwacha. There's also a question in regards with the Mopani mine beneficiaries. The beneficiaries of the Mopani mines are here residing within our country. They own the Ndozo Lodge in Lusaka, and then it's being used as a subject to the scheme. We are not fighting the Lungus. We are here saying, go and clear your name and come back to SA. We are also saying His Excellency Mr. Lungu cannot be buried in a foreign country when he was a servant of the Zambians. The Zambians deserve to bury their own leader. As South Africans, we know very well we have an issue of land. Since colonization and also apartheid, we have land claims that are being claimed via ancestral lineage. And graves are part of the instrument that we use when we want to claim the land. We don't want in the future that we are going to have an issue of the Lungu's generation to come the descendant of Mr. Lungu to come and claim the land in SA and pointing to their grandfather's grave. We have a deep-rooted issue with the Zambians from during apartheid struggle. The Zambians is the one of the country that have contributed to our struggle. They have harbored our exiles. We also know that the Zambians, there are graves of our exiles currently in Zambia. We are not fighting the Zambians. What we will not allow is the current African leaders who loot the coffers of their people to take the loot and come and enjoy it in peace in South Africa. We know very well that African leaders have been looting their country's resources and then go and enjoy the loot in Europe and the West. Now it's UAE. We have also found out with this case that there are more looters of the continent who have now found heaven in our country, South Africa. We saw in the last elections of Zambia, the Zambian youth went out in their numbers, not only to go and cast the vote to change the regime. They went there because they wanted change. They got their votes from the voting station to where the votes were being gathered. We saw the videos in 2023 during the national elections of Zambia because they were tired. They were tired that the regime was collecting debts from the West, from the East, but there were no infrastructures in Zambia. I believe it will be unfair for us as South Africans to keep quiet and let the Lungus to bury their people in South Africa without letting the Zambians to mourn their leader, without letting them to go back home and face the Zambians and clear their name. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody here. All protocol observed. My name is Cosmos Tuka Kuzimpi Rudolf Mota. I'm Swati Slogolo Sabapedi Vagamalepe. I thank you. But I thought maybe when I come in, I will introduce the organization.
No problem.
Let me use a juristic language. Dumelang. Let's build dumesing. Lekai. We want to know where you are. Letting. Kialibowa. Indigenous monarch king is what I am. My name Ke Halo Labataum Hlalele. I am the king in Bataungba Hlalele Royal Kingdom, monarch, Southern Africa. Ki tshwanetse be ke a leboa, qetile ke re. Ke a leboa bhaeso.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pio Wuhletulu. I am representing March and March, Gauteng. Thank you.
Morning, Commanders. My name is Lucas Makubele, Chairperson of SACRA, standing for South African Concerned Residents Association.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Mpho Sana from Reacha Community Project in Tshwane. Thank you very much.
Dumelang. I greet you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Amen. Lebitso la ka ke Mary Tshweditse Tati. Ke Mokubung, ke Motaung wa Hlalele. Ke tswala ha Mohapi. Ke a leboha. Thabela le kae lebitso la ka ke nna ngwana Kgwele Mary Murudu. I'm representing African Traders Association, of which we're working with the workers. We're having a branch in Atteridgeville. That's where we started our project. Thank you.
Dumelang, greetings, Abusheni, the Macheroni. My name is Rachel Makobele. I'm the Secretary General of Defense South Africa. Thank you.
Sanbonani Dumelang. My name is Mthunzi Lutuli. I'm from an organization called the Progressive Civics Congress, PCC. We are a civic movement that is focused on helping people to resolve their problems on a daily basis on the ground. Thank you.
Khotso, le kae? Teng. My name is Queen Mulatelo. I represent Indigenous monarch under King Hlalele.
Once again, Molweni, Dumelang Absheni. My name is Mteto Mugaitobi, and I was given this opportunity to lead the Progressive Forces of South Africa. That's why we are here today. Thank you.
And these are our distinguished guests, and they are going to get a chance to say something for a minute or two. And we are going to kickstart with His Royal Highness, Your Highness, oh my soul, this morning, King Shalel, Maragere, it's not my mother tongue. So, letlang swarela. So, morena ke maswabi for ole yemisha hape, ne ke kgopela letle le tlo re bolela le rena setjhaba. And His Royal Highness is just going to give us insight from an indigenous perspective when you bury people.
Dumelang bahaiso. Ki ya leboha. I'm standing here today and to bring unto all the ears a different message. The message of declaration of the indigenous people. Indigenous people has the absolute law on the indigenous law, indigenous living, and all aspect of tradition, culture, and the rights. Those are the major arms of indigenous people, the brown people. I prefer not to be black because I'm not black. Ke Mosotho. That's my color. I would like just to introduce this to say the indigenous law, it has law on its own. Rena le makgotla, since from the beginning. And the overtake of Roman Dutch law was not the right jurisdiction to come and be put on our lives and deprive every aspect of respect and humanity in our indigenous people. Today, as I'm saying, we are having our own courts. We are having our own judicial system. We are having our own lifestyle where the law is not teachable like the colonialism is doing. When you want to know law, you have to school. You have to go to school somewhere with another grades that they grade you that you are supposed to be learning or being given education on law or not. And then you can ask yourself if your mind is sober. Why should only few people know the law? What about the rest? What about the upcoming generations? What about the age? What about the adults? What about other aspects of life? They should not know the law. I spoke to the other chief magistrate one day, and I said that you are doing unlawful to judge people that you show that you have never taught them a law. But when you judge them with a law that they don't know. It is in our indigenous ethics that the law is taught even the woman when he's still pregnant. When he got a kid, he knows what he must do. When he grow up, to eat, to wear, to which food to eat, how to walk. It is the teachable situation that indigenous law has founded in, that will never make a mess. And all things has started to be messed up when Alot Macaulay came in 1834 and 5, when coming to spy on us, how we live. And he said a very good report that I can't forget. He said, I went in Africa continent wide and through. One, he said, I never found a fifth. I never found a poor person. I've never found a needy. He mentioned these things and giving back to the Britain Parliament and telling them about us. But if you can check how many feasts that we have now, how many needy, not even needy people, but the poorest of the poor in our country, in our lives. That is different. That's why I'm saying, I'm proclaiming to all people, all arms of the political government and their relatives and their cabals to leave our own people to live free as it is their liberty to do so. And I'm mentioning even all those are calling them authorities, the employed kings, the employed chiefs, the employed headmen, the employed whosoever that he is calling themselves royalty, but they are employed by the cabal of this government that are ruled by Dutch Roman law, and leave our royalties to be free as they are. You are born as a king, you are born as a monarch, you are born as a prince, you are born as a queen, not to be made. All this made some people that are on the authorities. That's why we are in this mess up. Now is the time to turn and take our things as they are, from the bones, from the blood, not from the head and from the books, not from anything that can be mentioned as the accolade of education. All people has learned here. All of them are Platos, are Paragodas, and the wasp. All of them, they got taught here. The very same thing today, we take it over. We know ourselves more than somebody can explain us. I thank you. For shortly, let me send my condolences to Lungu's family. We grieve with you as being a culture for us to respect when something like this happened and to mourn with that family. We mourn with you, and you must receive our sincere condolences to you for the loss. And then coming back to the very same thing that happened, I don't want to touch any filthy acts that the politician government has done. It's not my place. There are people that knows better about that. But I'm saying it will be a taboo if we can let the president, Zambian president, to be buried in here. Everybody according to the tradition and culture and the rituals says everybody must be buried where the elder bones and the graves are. No negotiations. I don't need no court to say anything. This is our people, and this is what we know. Let the Zambian president go and bury it where his ancestors are, close. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all, the ears that are listening. This is the time. I am Indigenous monarch. I'm the holder of an ankh, the supreme natural ankh degree to control, to command, and authority. as the natural law is our law of every body, of every flesh. I'm proclaiming this, and it's happening. It has started already. There will be nobody who will detect and dictate on our earth anymore. There will be no more shadows that will be hindering us to ponder every way in our success. We had the diamonds, we have the gold, we have the platinums. Inhabitants that we have, with no sinking holes, with no polluted air, with a bright sky that was giving us even longer life. But because of these people that came, they destroyed everything. You become sick even to inhale. Therefore, this is our time. We are taking over to make things the way they're supposed to be and that they should be. Lesedi, le kganyetse batho bohle. Ke a leboha.
Lesedi le kganyetswe batho bohle. For those who are tuned in from Zambia, it means let light shine upon all. I am now going to call Cosmos Mota from COSAL to come to the podium, and he's going to elaborate more on COSAL and also give his insights.
Good morning everybody once more. As I've introduced myself, my first name is Tuka Mota. I'm of South African Concerned Citizens, which is a civic movement. We are in the confederation called COSAL. COSAL means the Confederation of South African Citizens. So what I would like to state here is we are apolitical, we are non-political. So we are confederated with a lot of entities, including ministries, cooperatives. We are also business-oriented. Mine is simple. As a South African, it's very simple here. After thorough consultation with other leaders of other entities about this matter, we would love to say our kindest condolences to the state leader who has passed on. May his soul rest in perfect peace that it deserves. So ours is simple, as I've said. Mine is simple here as a representative of COSAL. Here in South Africa, we've got laws. We've got a constitution. There is a law that is governing South Africa, which is the constitution. So we are asking that the government that is deployed to govern this South Africa, let it make it a point that these proceedings that they are intending to do, they are lawful. When they are not lawful, it's going to be a problem for South Africans. And we are saying, on behalf of all the South Africans, the ordinary South Africans, we are saying we are with you. Since COSAL, it's a structure that deals with addressing the social ills of South Africa. We've got borders, we've got laws, we've got everything that is supposed to be done according to the law. So we are saying let law be practiced in this country. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mota, Cosmos Mota from COSAL. I now call on Mthunzi Luthuli from PCC and UCM to give his few words.
day again. I'm here to talk about the march that we're going to have tomorrow, the Cyril Must Fall March, which is going to start in Marabastad and end up at the Union Buildings. But before I do that, I just want to concur with one thing that Ukhosi said earlier, because I myself am from royalty. I'm the grandson of Chief Albert Luthuli, and we can trace our history all the way back to Usenzangakona. And some of my ancestors fought alongside Ushaga. And I don't like to just call him Ushaga. I call him Emperor, King Shaka the Great, because that's what he is. So, amakhosi awaha nabantu nje abanye ababalulekile abahambi bengcwatshwa noma ikuphi nje, bangcwatshwa eindaweni ezifanele i-position leyo ababenayo ku-society. Ukuthatha inkosi uyengcwaba noma ikuphi, kufanele ihambe iye kubo la isuka khona. Yeah. Nabantu ababalulekile njengama-president nabo into efanayo, kufanele bahambe kwamanye amazwe. They have presidential squares where all the presidents are buried. So akwazi ukuthi kuzofika abantu ababuya ngaphandle bezongcwaba ama-president namakhosi abo la eSouth Africa. Ngakho ke bengithi nje angisho ukuthi nami ke ngikusho lokhu ngasesayidini lami nje ukuthi lento eshiwo inkosi iyiqiniso ngempela ngempela. Right, now let me get back to what I was actually here to talk about, which is the Cyril Must Fall March that will be happening tomorrow. This initiative of this march is the initiative of Defend SA, but it is supported by UCM. UCM stands for the United Civics Movement, which is an umbrella federation of South African civic movements. And my organization, PCC, is part of UCM. So we're making this announcement on behalf of Defend SA and UCM. On Friday, the 18th of July 2025, in other words, tomorrow, the symbolic Nelson Mandela Day, thousands of determined South Africans from across all provinces will gather in Pretoria for the Cyril Must Fall March to the Union Buildings. Organized by Defend SA and supported by UCM, a federation of civic movements. This national protest is a bold declaration by the people against the ongoing decay of leadership, governance, and accountability under President Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa's rise to the Union Buildings has been characterized by corruption from the very beginning, starting with his irregular election as ANC president at the Nasrec conference in 2017, a process bankrolled by the controversial CR17 campaign funds, the details of which remain sealed and hidden from public scrutiny. Since then, the president has failed to account for the Phala Phala scandal. He has also failed to explain the disappearance of over 198 billion rands in COVID-19 relief funds, while burdening the nation with nearly 3 trillion in international debt, yet there is nothing tangible to show for it. Instead, South Africa is in crisis. The economy is on crutches, unemployment is at an all-time high, illegal immigration is out of control, and service delivery has collapsed. The recent explosive revelations by Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi have only confirmed what South Africans already know, that this administration is corrupt to the core, and that our institutions have been captured by political and private business interests at the expense of public safety, justice, and national pride. Our demands are very clear. We demand the immediate resignation of Cyril Ramaphosa as President and Head of State. We demand an end to State Capture 2.0 under a new guise of renewal. We demand the dismissal and prosecution of corrupt police officers and politicians. That's what we demand, not useless commissions that waste our time and public funds. And let us just be clear, maybe I'll digress a little bit. Let us just be clear on the issue of commissions. Cyril Ramaphosa did not have to appoint a commission of inquiry. It's a game that is playing. When Cyril Ramaphosa came into office, he demanded that the State Security Agency report directly into his office in the presidency. And so Cyril Ramaphosa gets state security reports and briefings on a regular basis. So what Mkhwanazi revealed, Cyril Ramaphosa already knew. That is the fact. And so the question is, if he knew all of these things, why is it that he didn't act? Why did he let criminal syndicates run amok within our law enforcement agencies? Why did he allow a situation where our politicians work with criminal syndicates and the SAPS to bring drugs into this country, to allow the looting of our country and the destruction of our society? He didn't have to. He knows exactly what has happened. It's not as if this commission is going to reveal something new that he doesn't know. So there was no need for this. He should have acted. As a leader, if he was a true leader, he should have acted, and he did not. Because he himself is captured by foreign interests, foreign business people. He's not acting in the interests of South Africans. He has absolutely no interest in advancing our country and making sure that South Africans are successful people. We also demand strong action to halt illegal immigration and restore border control. And we demand the reinstatement of the informal economy to the hands of locals. This is not just a protest. Tomorrow's march is not just a protest. It is a clarion call for national renewal. South Africans from all walks of life are rising to reclaim their country from those who have betrayed the Constitution and public trust. We urge all patriotic South Africans to stand together and say, Cyril must fall, the people must rise. I thank you.
From Defend SA to give us a word or two. And our speakers who are coming, I've scanned through. I'm not seeing any gray hairs or beards. So I assume you are as young as me. You know, with elderly people, we don't like to rush them and tell them time. His Royal Highness spoke, so I didn't want to rush him. So for Lona, when you come here and you see me standing there at the door, it's an indication that time. If I stand there at the door, I don't want to expose you in front of the cameras. So if you see me standing there, please don't get offended. And then if you see me coming and you are still talking and I'm standing here, it means that unfortunately I'm going to need to come and stop you. So, let me consider my Zambian viewers. I'm asking with humility, let us please consider time.
Thank you, Program Director. We'll try to be as fast as we can. Greetings, everyone, South Africans, media houses, Your Highness, we greet you. My name is Rachel, Secretary of Defense South Africa, in short, DSA. DSA, we stand for Accountability, Transparency, and Ethical Leadership. Our duty is to protect the country from internal and external threats. Coming back to the issue of Mr. Edgar Lungu, we are saying this comes as a threat to South Africa as the nation. The question is, when the person of the status like Mr. Lungu is being buried, whose flag is going to be lowered? Is it our South African flag or is it a Zambian flag? Because this person is not anybody person. It's not anybody that just like me, you can just bury. He deserves a dignity as the former president of Zambia. Okay, the issue of the family, Mr. Lungu's family, as DSA, we stand for transparency and accountability. We are saying the family should go back home and account for all those crimes that we just had here. They've been listed. South Africa is not a country where we harbor criminals. South African government should please try to control the level of criminals that are entering our South African country. Just like I said, I won't have to prolong this. In conclusion, we had our chief when he said a person must be buried where his bones. Xitsonga hi ri laha kava wa wena u nga sala ko xikava ni xa n'wana xi nga wela kona nga Xivenda hune muputo wawe wa sala hone. So Mr. Lungu deserves a dignity. People of Zambia deserve dignity. They deserve to mourn their president. We have the issue of influx of illegal immigrants in South Africa. That's not it's not something that we can say it's a lie. We are dealing with this issue in South Africa. So the person of the status like Mr. Lungu being buried in South Africa, it's gonna give many Zambian citizens to come here and say they are coming to see their president's grave, and at the end of the day, they end up staying in South Africa. And when we raise that issue, we will be labeled as xenophobic. And we are not being xenophobic, but we're trying to protect what belongs to us. We love our African brothers and sisters, but what they are doing in our country, seriously, is not humanity enough. So I thank you. Mr. Lungu must be buried home. Thank you.
Now I'm calling on Ms. Meritati from Tembelihle Residents Association.
Thank you once again. Thank Thank you once again for the opportunity to be standing here on behalf of Thembelihle Residents Association. I would like to say good morning once again. I acknowledge the King in our presence, patriots, everyone who is here, members of the civic organization and the media house that are here, also those that are in Zambia. I concur with everyone's statement. What I want to say is my condolences to the President and his family. We have a huge challenge as South Africa. We know that everybody, most of the people that come here regard South Africa as America of Africa. We acknowledge that. And with Ubuntu that we have as South Africans, we are always welcoming to everyone. But as Thembelihle Residents Association, we are saying no to illegal immigrants. Anybody who is here and accounted for is welcome to live in South Africa. But those who come here without papers, those who come here to commit crime, those who come here to say that they can get away with crime, and those the mafias that are running our countries cannot be acceptable. We are having mafias in every sphere of government. We are having people they are saying they are representing citizens of South Africa. They are representing the people who live around the community. They go and they want 30% of the money of the value of the construction, if it's a construction site. And that money does not end in the community's coffers. They do not employ communities. Those mafias, they come and they take the money and they go with the 30%. They leave the community poor as they came in. So I want to say, I've experienced that a lot. I was a CLO in a project that is in Pretoria CBD. I was threatened every day by guns. People coming to threaten me, wanting the 30%. And I stood my ground and I said that 30% will go to the community that lives in the inner city. There is a lot of corruption in the inner city. I'm standing here to say there are breaking down of social housing as we are speaking. We have the state that is trying to accommodate South Africans who are homeless, but those property end up being hijacked by the illegal immigrant, by the very people who are the mafia, the mafias in all spheres of government. And we cannot say that is correct. There's abuse of tenants everywhere in a city and on these programs that are built by government. So if the SHRA that is standing to advocate for the people who do not have anywhere else to go, allow these criminals to carry on, we will not see justice, because also the justice system is failing us. So tomorrow we are supporting Defend SA to say this needs to come to an end. We need to take ownership as South Africans and from the ground root level, because the ones who are at the top has failed us. Thank you so much for your time and opportunity.
We are calling on Mpho from Riaya to come Riaga or Remaswabi Mpho Riaga to come give us an
Greetings once again. As a Riaga, we are an institution that focuses on economic development. We are saying, and tomorrow we are saying, that we want to deal with monopoly capitalists. We are saying monopoly capitalists have taken over our country, they have taken over our state, hence why our country is not developing. We are also saying that we are not politically affiliated. The reason why we do not affiliate with political agendas is because most of political parties are actually backed up by the very same the very same monopoly capitalists. So we are saying that we do not want a state that is run or governed by monopolists. We want to see South Africa growing in equilibrium, where each and every person is given a fair chance of operating as long as they are operating within the laws that have been placed. Certain laws, yes, they are violated and they are monitored by the very same monopoly capitalist. And we are saying that anything that does not benefit South Africa should not be taken into an upper hand. Hence why certain policies, we argue on them on the basis of saying who benefits from that certain bylaw or from that certain policy. Now, in regards to the president, Zambia, we are saying what economical frustration is this going to create towards the country? What implication are we going to receive? Now, we are saying the recent dispute over the burial of former Zambian President Edgar Lungu in South Africa has sparked significant controversy and raised several concerns. As an economic institution, we would like to highlight the potential implication and these disputes of the economy and migration. The trade disruption. What disruption is this going to create within South Africa and Zambia? Investment uncertainties. If by law, each and every company that comes to South Africa must come as an investor. Those that are coming as investors, not as monopoly capitalists, but as investors, what effects is it going to create? My colleagues here from UCM, there's also highlighted the influx also of Zambians coming over to the country. What effect is that going to create? So we are saying to Zimbabwean and to the family of the late President Edgar to say, please look at it in a broader view to say what implication is this going to create towards the economy of South Africa. We want to ensure that our economy rises. Anything that is going to disrupt our economy, we will stand by all force to say we are not part of it. We thank you very much. Let us rebuild our country together. Monopoly capitalist, down with monopoly capitalist. President Cyril, every monopoly capitalist that you have encouraged, we want to say we do not stand with it. Thank you very much.
Question, but I'll just try to summarize. The first question will go to the King, because as you were presenting your issue, I feel you left out contra lesser, which I think is very important in the matter. Or in my question, is it because as traditional leaders, you are not being taken serious in terms of authority? Bear in mind the issue of traditional courts bill, which people still claim that it's unconstitutional. And the second question goes to the latter speaker just spoken from Progressive Movement about the movement of Mr. Edgar. I just want to check if Diego was officially notified of the visit. I hear that he came here as a diplomat for 90 days and so forth, but I just want to check if Diego was notified and if there is an official or a political someone who was somehow connected or linked to the movement of Mr. Edgar. I'll just take the last one, please. Is the issue of the state security, if it has been engaged prior to the arrival of Mr. Edgar, and if there was an assessment on his arrival. Thank you so much.
Okay, the questions. The first one was to His Royal Highness in regards to controllacy, right? And then the second question was directed to Mr. Ngugaitobi about Diego, who has been notified. And then do you have the third question? Whether somebody has been notified about his visit. So are you fine with the question so far? Okay, and then can we have the questions from the gentleman from IOL?
Yes, you gladly hear me. I will speak very loud.
Teacher's voice.
Okay. My name is Johnny Sai Naromo. I'm a journalist at IOL. I'm based in Pretoria. I've got a few questions for the panel. Please indulge me. It's a press briefing, so we gotta interrogate you, please, with your permission. My first question, you speak about the law. That the law must not be broken. The law, but without referring to the Bible, which law would be broken if the former president is buried here? Educate me on that. Which law would the family be breaking if they bury their father here, as it were? And secondly, the context which you give, or that which says there are many South Africans who are buried in Zambia, who are buried, yes, who are in Zambia buried. And that context was mentioned here, you also understand that part. So I want to understand, do you not feel that you would be unfair to say one person, this one must not be buried here, yet there are these people who are buried also in their country, in Zambia? Would you be fair to them when you mention your stance to say, no, they shouldn't be buried here? And then thirdly, Mr. Lutuli, I remember your name. The issue of the march tomorrow on Friday, if you sought permission, is it cleared already? We would want to cover as well, and as we continue. I think for the gentleman from Progressive, I forget the name of the little part of me, please. So this, the people or the other people who are in Zambia who were supposed to be coming this side and then they were stopped, could you shed more light about that? Who stopped them? Who are these people? Where are they right now? We would want to understand further. If you could shed more light, what happened to those people? How many are they? Where were they coming? Who is funding them? Or they're being self-funded? Please shed more light on those topics. Thank you very much. I think we can still ask more questions just to understand. No disrespect. We just need to understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is it audible?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to guess who has just posed the question. I never had your name.
MDNtv.
Okay, Bikanyo. The question of controlesa, I should think that I have made it clear, but maybe most of people don't understand. Any organization that is covered by Roman Dutch law, it's not sovereign. There are many that I would have just mentioned organization. I'm the chairperson of many organizations that called in the King's Chiefs and others. And I not even mention them. Because here we are talking about sovereignty. And our belief in Indigenous is that Indigenous people are the absolute law, not a registration from CIPRO. If that is enough, thank you. You.
And then Ms. Pulwane will answer on behalf of Progressive Forces of South Africa.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were in talks with the Zambian. No, it's Zambian.
Zambia Press.
Zambia Press, yes. They were to say that they were on their way in engagement before the press briefing. Unfortunately, they sent details that they can no longer be here with us. So it was from them on their side to unpack of what is going on in Zambia as we are in solidarity in this case. So we didn't get any further clarity of what transpired because they said they were in the aircraft and they were taken out of the aircraft. So, but yeah, it's speculations on that matter. So, but we were expecting them to be with us, but unfortunately, it never amounted to that. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the march tomorrow has been cleared. We sought all the necessary permissions, and we were granted the permission to hold the march. So everything is authorized by the city. The march will start at the old Marabastad or the old Patco bus depot in Marabastad. It will start at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then it will proceed from there to the union buildings, okay? And we expect to be at the union buildings till about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's how the march will happen. Thank you.
Then IOL asked the panel about the law being broken. Can you remember that question? Is there anyone who wants to elaborate on that or answer that question? Okay, there is a... And then the other question from IOL was, would it be unfair to say that he cannot be buried here while we have South Africans who are buried outside?
On that note, there's an act, is it Act 51 of 1992, but it does not specifically speaks about a foreign president being buried into the country. There is no specific law that says it should not. But as I think the King also stated, to say, you spoke about the influx of people. Now, as South Africa, we face a very huge challenge where we've got an influx of illegal foreigners coming into the country. Practicality is, as a former president, there are loyalists of people that feel they need to honor him. Are we not going to have an influx of these people, of our Zambian residents who wants to come and honor their president and come and visit? Now, those are the things that as organizations we are saying, but let's look into this issue on a broader space, also economically, to say, if right now we are fighting against illegal occupants, now the president is being buried in the ground. I think one of our people also stated to say, when people are buried, especially kings, they must be honored. How is that president going to be honored by the very same residents? So that's a question that I want to pose it back to you to say, how are they going to honor their former president, especially if they are not legal? It's not all the whole Zambian are having legal document to enter into the country. So So, like I stated earlier on, to say bylaws and regulations, some are copy and paste from wherever political parties copied. But if we are looking at the general perspective of life, is to say, what regulations can we create as communities to say such incidents should not happen again? So we need to challenge the policies that are being placed into our government laws, and we need to implement it now because it has happened, to say in future, if such a thing happens, how do we prevent it? Thank you. I'm not sure if I've answered you.
Yeah, Madam, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We said that South Africans are very inside.
Okay. The question from IOL again in regards with our exiles who are buried in Zambia. We believe that we know very well those were the targeted people during apartheid that had to run away from South Africa and find shelter in Zambia. And I believe that the current government, there's a program to retrieve the exiles from those countries. Now, my question will be, is Edgar Lungu's running? Is he in exile in South Africa from Zambia? And like we said, in South Africa, we claim the land through ancestry. As it is, we still have land claims that are not being addressed yet. What will happen 20, 30 years' time when the Lungus use their grandfather's ancestral grave as a lineage to claim the land? Are we now not creating a problem by just ignoring the issue, and then it will be the issue that our kids will now have to face and justify why did we bury Edgar in South Africa? So those are the questions that we cannot look away from. They need an answer. And the person of Edgar Lungu status, I don't think he should be buried in a foreign land. I believe somewhere last week, South Africans saw, especially us who come from the rural areas, we understand and still respect the laws of the land. In Mpumalanga, in a village called Pake, they refused the burial of a Nigerian without a status because they are trying to secure that lineage. That was the only reason. The whole community came and said that this person won't be buried here because he's not of our ancestry. So with that being said, I don't think we should allow Edgar Lungu to be buried in South Africa. He served the people of Zambia. The people of Zambia deserve to mourn him. With that being said, I believe I have answered. When coming to breaking the law directly, I don't believe there is an act that prevents him. For that, we will hear on the 4th of August, because I believe on that day there's a reparation case taking place in High Court. No? Yeah. And then we will also be there, and then we will hear what the court says, the Roman court says. We do not agree as the indigenous people. Thank you.
You can't, your question is a bit misplaced. You can't equate, you can't say that there are South Africans who are, I think your question is a little bit misplaced. You can't say there are South Africans who are buried in Zambia, and so it should be okay for Mr. Edgar Lungu to be buried in South Africa. Mr. Edgar Lungu is not an ordinary citizen of Zambia. He's the former president of Zambia. So that makes a big difference, and that's why he should actually, his body should actually go back home, and that's where he should be buried. Thank you.
Are there any questions that have been left unanswered?
Yes, that's
SABC. Okay. SABC.
There are many reasons why Mr. Ramaphosa should resign as president. You know, it's not just the recent revelations by General Nkwanas. Okay. If you look at the economy of our country, it's stagnating. Okay. We've been growing for the last 7 years. We've been growing at a rate of about 1%.
No, 0.0.
0.8. I'm just saying on average. Yeah. Just on average. You know. Now, if you take into account the fact that the inflation rate has been above 3% and population growth is also much higher, in real terms, because that 1% is nominal. So in real terms, we're actually stagnating, if not going backwards. So, and he came on the ticket of economic growth. I remember him clearly saying, it's about the economy, stupid. Yes. He hasn't achieved that. Ordinary black South Africans are worse off now than they were when Mr. Ramaphosa took office. Okay. Then we had Phala Phala. Okay. Now that's plain criminality. You know, if you and I were found with $580,000 US in our houses, we would be in jail now.
Yes.
Okay. It's clear criminality. He has just been protected by the powers that be, including the very SAPS that we are talking about now. So, and the General Nkwanas was talking about that there's a lot of corruption there. So, in fact, when you look at that situation, you have to ask yourself, is anything going to happen to uproot the corruption within the SAPS? Because if the SAPS helped to shield Ramaphosa from arrest and prosecution, they're not going to take any instructions from him to clean up their house. It's not going to happen. They're going to say, who are you to tell us? Because you yourself are the criminal and we protected you. You see, this is the big problem that we have. There is no cleanup of the law enforcement agencies that's going to happen as long as Ramaphosa is there. You see. So if you look at everything else, illegal immigration, Mr. Ramaphosa actually promotes this illegal immigration. That's a problem. It's not. Illegal immigration into this country is not a mistake. It's not due to, you know, the incompetence of the border management authorities or anything. No. If we wanted to stop this illegal immigration, we've got enough resources to deal with it effectively. No. This is part of a social engineering project. You know, in my view, it was designed by white people and is being implemented by the ANC. Yeah. That is our problem. I remember clearly when the Ethiopian head of state came to visit South Africa on a head of state visit, and he stood outside together with Ramaphosa outside the union buildings. And Ramaphosa said clearly, you can go back and check your videos. Ramaphosa stood clearly, he stood outside of the union buildings and said very clearly that the president of Ethiopia must not worry about the Ethiopians that are here in South Africa, because he is going to protect them against xenophobic South Africans. What nonsense is that?
Thank you.
What nonsense is that? So, this illegal immigration is being promoted directly from the presidency. It's not a mistake. It's not an issue just about the incompetence of border management, and it's causing lots of problems. You know, because of this, all sorts of things have died. Innocent lives have died because illegal immigrants sell rotten foods, expired food to our people. And Ramaphosa is responsible for that. So there are lots of things. And we all know Ramaphosa bought his ANC presidency, and by extension, his presidency of the country. Why must we tolerate the buying of the presidency of this country? He is in the pockets of both local and international businesses. That's why things are the way they are. He must go. We're sick and tired, he must go. Yes. And this time around he's going. There's no two ways. Without COK.
Are you answering? No, okay. Thank you. In regards with the coup d'etat, I believe that the office of the presidency, maybe they think we are the same age as them. In that sense, I don't think Kunchavel will think South Africans will plan a coup on WhatsApp with Ramaphosa must fall. They must take us serious. If coup should happen, there won't be a social media discussions. That's what they must know. And it won't be led by any leader. It will be from the people themselves. Thank you. In regards with the Home Affairs also, as Progressive Forces, we went on the 10th of July to go and also deliver the letter with questions that we are awaiting answers on. We asked the Department of Home Affairs, the first question is in regards with the passport number that it was provided to us, the Zambian diplomatic passport, and we questioned them that since Edgar was given the 90 days which expired on the 19th, why didn't they flag that passport when the 19th of April came? The second one, we asked, how did Mr. Lungu move without using the very same passport, and his biometrics were not detected when he was doing in and out of the country with the pseudo passport that he was using then? The other one we asked in regards with the Mediclinic where Mr. Lungu passed on at Hore, since the patient there was not Mr. Lungu, Bone as Home Affairs, who did they declare dead? Because even there he was admitted on a pseudonym. The other one, we asked the Home Affairs, was this identity manipulations not detected by the National Population Register, NPR, or movement tracking system? This is not merely a matter of immigration control, it's a matter of national security, sovereignty and integrity of diplomatic protocol enforcement. We also asked Home Affairs, is there any record in the National Population Registry of a temporary permit resident that was awarded to Mr. Lungu and his family? Because some of the Zambians that contacted us, they claim he was given a citizenship in South Africa. We also asked Home Affairs, was the Zimbabwean passport, which we believe is the one that he was using to travel to Uganda and Zimbabwe, was the Zimbabwean passport used, scanned in DHA movement control system, and if so, why was his true identity not flagged? The last question, has any interagency protocol failure occurred between Home Affairs and DICO in handling this case? And then we are still awaiting the answer from Home Affairs the same way we are waiting from DICO. We haven't got any. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. MDN.
Yes. I'll just deviate just a little bit because it's a norm that a particular civil organization will support a particular political party. I just want to check what is Progressive South Africa supporting, because in your statement I can hear that you are anti-ANC. What is supporting that? You think it's in defense of South Africans? Thank you.
Progressive Forces is not affiliated to any political party. We are aligned with the flag, South Africa. We are aligned to ourselves. We are not associated and we are not working with any political party. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, since mine is not a question, it's just a request. When we are done, please don't rush to leave. Want to interact with you, even if you're outside. Get your names and your numbers. Please don't rush to leave to go.
No problem.
Because the story continues tomorrow.
Next time I'll provide popcorn, I promise. Okay. And then the 4th of August, the court case will be proceeding to High Court, ne? Yes. So please also be there. And then those who are here, the attendance register will be printed. Please fill that in. It's only for record purposes, organizations. And then there are more refreshments outside. Please help yourselves.